in like cool stores, like cool boutiques and stuff like that. When you're traveling all over, like you're in Japan or whatever, and they're playing music, I'm fucking shazamming that stuff. I go back and I'll deep dive into it. But let's just use Priest because now they're my good friends and we're doing music together and everything. In this modern day and age, you know, you can discover these bands, and I'm really good at kind of like finding people if I need to. Like I'll fucking get a hold of a band that I like. I don't care.
Nice.
You know, I have no, I don't care. I will get a hold of you. It's happening. So I did a deep dive and started looking into the band, and I liked some of their other songs. I'm like, okay, it's kind of sticking to my head. And as I dove deep, I realized that there's this whole thing. No one knows what they look like. And this is, they're wearing masks, and it's not Slipknot. These are like, I know now that this guy, you know, the singer, has these masks that he's designed that are he creates them. They're like laser fucking, you know, precision, and they're treated like the finish of a car. So he's this robot, and the robot has a story. He's an android that broke free of his programming and wants to make music. He's an android priest, and he broke free of that, but he wants to make disco music. And I just I'm getting little chills right now. I started getting into the whole story, and I'm like, this is so fucking cool. And the music's really good. And then they dropped a new album, and I'm like, okay, this is like, we should play with these guys. So of course I did my thing. I ended up meeting them, becoming friends, put a tour together. Now we've toured together a lot, and they've become, you know, they record here with me, and, you know, we're very, very deeply connected now. But that's just an example of how that band has all this other interesting stuff going on. Their story was interesting. It wasn't just that you're wearing a mask. I thought that was cute, but it's just that the whole precision by which they designed everything, and the lighting that's built in, that alone, when you go, whoa, this guy, the art involved, and this is like not major label stuff. This is independent level stuff. I'm like, this guy took 2 years and machined this thing out with multiple models and everything. I don't know a lot of like just new musicians that would spend that kind of focus and time to execute through a 2-year process to create this evolving masterpiece. So that's a very extreme example of like stuff that kind of turns me on. You know what I mean? So I will obviously go through my new music, you know, Fridays, whatever that release radar happens. I go through all that on Spotify. I like that. And then when I find bands that I like, I create radio stations out of those bands, and I let them play, because then I find a bunch of other bands that I like. And then when one jumps out at me like Priest, I start deep diving on them. And if it's something, for instance, there's a band called President right now that is very much like Sleep Token, by the way, managed by the same management company.
Oh, interesting.
So the management company obviously has a thing going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all in masks, and it's obviously really good. It's semi-progressive, you know, complicated, heavy music with a really good singer. Okay, woo, great formula. And they wear masks and the whole thing. Their rollout was extraordinary. They had like 80,000 Instagram followers before they even released a song. Wow. So they did some stuff with visuals. They made it look like a fucking horror movie was coming. I mean, it was amazing. And that is not dissimilar to the way that Julien-K does stuff. You know, when we get ready to launch a product, we build a world around it. You know, like our Indiegogo campaigns are not these funny things where we're throwing a football to one another. Hey, help us fund our album. They are like, boom. It's like a commercial that was filmed in the era of Blade Runner. You know, like, we don't care. If people think we're pretentious, we don't give a fuck. We just do like something cool. And so those are the things I gravitate towards. So I will bring up President a lot when I'm talking to people in marketing and stuff like that. I'll be like, hey, look at this. This is like something from nothing. This is 0 to 200 in like seconds. You know what I mean? And look what they did. Look how they presented all this. And this is in this like fast fashion, TikTok, everything's a blip in the bucket. These guys built a story. So it just proves to me all this stuff still matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to play by the rules that all these fucking people are playing by. You can invent your own rules. Just do something cool. And I'm looking for bands that are doing that. I'm always looking for inspiration. So it's so much more than music for me. It's more. I'm looking for bands that do something cool and interesting. And if it might even be a band that they've got great music. Of course, it's a prerequisite, but maybe it's not, you know, like, oh my God, like that guitar tone, you know, it might not be that.
Yeah.
You might look at their social media and go, man, the way that they interact with their fans and what they've done, it's so much bigger than they've taken this music, which is good, but they've encapsulated it in this very personal and interactive, like bitchin' artistic way. I'll be super turned on by that, you know, and just kind of, I might be listening to music, but also be just equally interested in how they're creating a story around themselves and how they're involving themselves with their fans.